to welcome tonight's guests. One's an Oscar nominee who starred in the hilarious The Other Guys, Boogie Nights and The Departed, and the other you'll know for his starring role as Spider-Man, not only on the big screen, but also now One Big Thank You films. Oh, look, there he is, being a brilliant sport. Here on The One Show, helping us surprise the very deserving Ethan. That was lovely, wasn't it?
Oh, so nice, so brilliant. But that's not all. We're also joined by the award-winning writer and director behind some of the best British rom-coms of all time, including Four Weddings and a Funeral, my favourite, Notting Hill.
And why would that be?
Yeah, and of course, Love Actually.
So please welcome Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg and Richard Curtis.
Hey. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thanks for coming. Now, we mentioned Spider-Man. There's Oscar buzz around No Way Home. It's rumoured to be up for the top prize, Best Picture.
Right.
The short list's going to be announced next week. How do you fancy the chances?
Oh, that's a big question. I mean, you know, for us as creatives, and I think I can speak on behalf of everyone at Sony and Marvel, you know, the love and support we've had from the film, from the fans, has been so fantastic.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's enough for us, you know, to see people in the audiences standing on their feet, cheering, you know, enjoying the process, the nostalgia of the celebration of 3 generations of cinema has been pretty special to be a part of. So should the Oscars happen, it would obviously be the icing on the cake. Yeah. But if not, you know, we're all very proud of what we've achieved.
Oh, what a lovely answer. Well, we know, Richard Curtis.
I was going to say, don't hold your breath, Tom.
And that brings us all back down to earth, just like that. But Richard's a fan. Him and the family went to see Spider-Man, but what we all want to know is, are you going to come back as Spider-Man again?
That's a big question. That's a big question. Listen, all what I've been saying is I've had such an amazing run as Spider-Man, and if it is my time to step down and the next lucky kid's going to step up, I'll do so proudly. I've achieved everything I wanted to achieve as the character. So if it is time, I'll do it, you know, with my head held high. But if not, I'll play this character forever.
You will.
Because I love it. It's a lot of fun.
We love you in it, man. Mark, we hear your wife and all, your 4 kids had a role in Transformers. I mean, did you have to bribe them to be on best behaviour?
No, actually, that's when they actually cared about what I was doing and they thought it was cool. Now that's not the case anymore. I can't even get them to come and visit me on location.
Tough times.
Have you told them you're working with me yet?
I did. They still had the same reaction, Tom. No, they actually the first movie that my kids have seen in the theater since the pandemic, and you know it was always a ritual for us to go at least 2-3 times a week to the theater. The first movie that they saw was Spider-Man, so they are actually big fans of yours, Tom. So if you can show up in my house in the suit, I'd really appreciate that. It would it'd make me look good.
I'll send you an invoice.
And Richard, we know that your son, years ago, played Spider-Man in Love Actually, like a little cameo, very cute. And your daughter was one of the lobsters, Tom, in the Nativity, because you always get lobsters in a Nativity.
Right, nice.
And we were wondering, did they choose the characters themselves, Richard?
Yeah, she chose the lobster. I think at that point in his life, my son was just permanently wearing a Spider-Man face mask. So
bit like ours,
in order to play the part, he had to wear the face.
Oh,
so cute.
Well, we'll talk more to all of you as the night goes on. But now we're kicking off with something we know that you will all love, because all our guests, you see, are dog lovers tonight.
Yes, as more of us head back to the office, the number of people sending their furry friends to doggy daycare has shot up as Rezi Kajar went to find out.
Oh, that was very sweet, wasn't it? But Mark, we know that you bought your little dog, Champ, as a surprise present for the family. Now then, how did that go down?
You know, it was so bizarre because I'm not good at keeping a secret, and I was telling my children that somebody special was going to be arriving on that particular day. And my wife was the last one to know anything. I wanted to surprise her as well. So all of a sudden, the kids convinced themselves that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were going to be arriving for dinner, which infuriated my wife because she's not prepared for anybody to come over. And I'm like, no, I got a dog. And then she was even more upset with me because I didn't ask for her opinion on what kind of dog to get. And but everybody obviously fell in love with the dog right away. He's as cute as he gets.
Look at it, Tom.
So cute.
He's evil, but he's cute.
He's evil.
He's very cute.
Tom, we know you have a dog. Do you take your dog on set?
I do sometimes take her on set. You know, obviously, I don't travel with her, but if I'm in London, she'll come to set. I remember I took her to... I was shooting this film called A Current War with Benedict Cumberbatch, which was a very serious movie about the invention of the light bulb. And we were shooting this sequence which was supposed to be in a field, but we shot it in a soundstage, and Benedict was giving this massive speech to about 100 extras. And Tess is so well behaved. I can have her on set. She never barks. She doesn't make a noise. And I'm sitting there watching Benedict, and he's crying, and he's, you know, giving his heart and soul into this performance. And my dog obviously has some sort of like hay intolerance or something. And she, you know how dogs sneeze with like every fibre in their body? She was just sneezing and sneezing. And you can see Benedict like trying to stay in character, trying to stay with it. And then eventually he was like, can someone take that dog out of here, please? I'm like, I'm so sorry, Benny, that's my dog. But she was fine. She was all good.
Oh, bless. Look, sadly, we're not here to talk about dogs. We could all day. You've got a brand new blockbuster called Uncharted. Cinemas a week on Friday. It is so good. I absolutely loved it. Now, before we chat about it, let's have a look at you guys in action.
That bit where the boat comes out of the... Well...
Mind blown. Unbelievable. Mark, the film is based on a computer game. Now, my son cannot wait to see it. Your two sons are 16 and 14. Did they play the game? Are they excited?
You know what? They did not play Uncharted until I was actually making the film. And then since the pandemic started, I couldn't peel the video games away from them. So now they're not allowed to play games right now. But they are excited to see the final version of the film. And the film, obviously, is based on the video game, but it's so cinematic and such great storytelling that it really made it easy to adapt this to a feature film.
And you were just saying, Tom, that you were playing it without knowing that you were going to get the role. When you did Spider-Man 1?
I was shooting Spider-Man 1, and obviously Spider-Man being a Sony movie and Sony owning PlayStation, one of the luxuries is you always get a PlayStation in your trailer. And, you know, in the setup times between shots, my mate and I would play Uncharted. And I remember thinking at the time, like, wow, this would make an incredible movie. And at the time, Ryan Reynolds was attached to play Drake, which is like the highest form of flattery to like take over from Ryan Reynolds. So yeah, you know, I spoke to Tom Rossman and, you know, I pitched an idea for a film and he really liked it and you know, now we're promoting it, so.
That's nuts. But the thing is, you do loads of stunts in it. Right at the beginning, this car is repeatedly ramming into you and your mum was on set. Was it difficult for her to watch this bit? There he goes, here he goes.
What?
And then you fall out of the sky.
Yeah, the falling out of the sky bit's not real. But the car, essentially they had a bonnet of a car that was sort of on rails and then I was on wires and essentially all I had to do was stand there and then they would go 3, 2, 1, action, and then the car would sort of zoom towards me, I would hit it and then fly off.
Yeah.
And, you know, it did get to the point where my mum's sort of coming up to me on, like, the 12th take, like, do you not think they've got it already? Can't they move on? I'm like, no, Mum, it's fine. It's padded. Amazing. They've made it safe. And so she was worried, but she was all right.
Mark, at the end, there's a scene which makes it seem, well, there could be more films in the pipeline. And, you know, can you confirm or deny that?
I've never really been in the sequel business. I've done 2 thus far, but I think this is the kind of film where if there's a demand based on the audience's reaction and we can make it better than the first, that I'd certainly look forward to going at it with Tom again. He was such a great co-star and partner to bounce off of. And I'm the youngest of 9. I've never had a little brother who's so annoying and constantly giving me crap that, you know, I would love to do it again with him, especially.
I love the chemistry between the two of you on screen. It's so brilliant. You can't stop watching it. It's great. It just seems there was a real bromance between you guys on set.
Yeah, you know, this movie, I mean, the thing that elevates the material is the chemistry between the two of us. And it's great for audiences to see us kind of going head to head, but also seeing us come together as a team ultimately, which is the big payoff. And it's very much earned in the film.
Yeah, audiences are going to love it. Big news though as well with you, Tom. I mean, you're going back to your Billy Elliot roots.
That's right,
because you're going to play Fred Astaire. Amazing. There he is, look, making everything look so effortless. This is one of his famous dances from Swing Time. Now, we thought, you know, you might need a bit of, I don't know, some advice maybe? So we got in touch with this lady called Lynn Page, who you might know, your very first dance teacher.
No way.
She wanted to say this to you.
I can't think of anybody more deserving to play Fred Astaire than you. Everybody loved Fred, made the dancing look so easy, but you and I know it's because of all the hours of practice he put in. Well, you've done so many of those hours already with your early Billy training, so my advice to you would be close your eyes, trust your feet, dance, soar, and show the world what it takes to make it look that easy.
Oh, lovely.
Isn't that Wasn't that a
Yeah,
lovely
no pressure, Tom.
Jeez. Lynn Page is really kind of one of the reasons why I'm sitting here today. She sent me to my first Billy Elliot audition. So if it wasn't for Lynn, I would never have known... Where did you get that? Where did it...
It's just the one show, Tom. We can do things, you know? There you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
We
Thank
can't
you,
wait
guys.
to
I
see you in
appreciate
that.
that. Thank you.
I mean, that's a tall order, but you're
my
gonna
tap
be...
shoes are about that big, so I'm going to have to get a new pair.
It's going to be amazing. You can see Tom and Mark in Uncharted in cinemas from next Friday, the 11th of February.
Now then, Richard Curtis, where are you? Here he is. He's back. Yes, Richard. We've got to talk about Red Nose Day because it's back on March the 18th. It's going to be an extravaganza, always is. What can you tell us about it this year, then?
I'm still slightly reeling from that phrase, trust your feet. Look, it's I think, going to be bigger and better than ever. You know, it's such an important time. COVID's knocked a lot of people, and the people it hits hardest are often the people whose lives were toughest anyway, so I feel more passionate than ever. But we've got fantastic noses, 8 of them on sale in Sainsbury's. We've got fantastic T-shirts, 11 of them, I think, on sale in TK Maxx, 11 designs. We've got a great TV show coming up, you know, presented by Lenny and David Tennant and Zoe Ball and Paddy McGuinness, and lots of really cool specials. And then we're just really looking for the public to do what they've always done, which is do fantastic fundraising and change people's lives. I mean, this extraordinary statistic, since 2020, Comic Relief has helped, I think, 11.7 million people at home and abroad. So every little bit counts. If you buy something, if you watch the show, if you do fundraising. And I still deeply believe that everybody can help change someone's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, raised over $1 billion.
That's incredible.
Since 1985. Unbelievable. And as you say, you know, the viewers will not let you down. They always dig deep, don't they? And do amazing things. They're meant to have fun while they're doing it. Yeah. And yet what they achieve is so deeply and profoundly serious for people, you know, with problems of domestic violence and older people who are hungry in the UK and homelessness. It's a fantastic, you know, gift that the British public gives every year, and I can only encourage them to do it again. Yeah, well, humour does amazing things, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And actually, Richard, last week, our viewers voted The Vicar of Dibley and Blackadder as their most loved BBC television programmes of all time. So, so they think you're brilliant. 10, It was a top 10, so they think you're brilliant. But apparently your kids don't think you're that funny. Is that right? Oh, no, they haven't laughed at me for about 5 years. There's a dreadful prejudice against jokes that are cracked by fathers. And I've moved into doing too many puns, and they hate that. They wish that Jamie Demetriou was their dad these days.
Let's bring Mark back in. You still there, Mark? Mark, comedy legend Will Ferrell said, "You're a funny guy." Do your kids agree?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, they think I'm funny. They think I'm funny enough to make fun of. They're constantly doing imitations of me, and so I try not to even speak anymore because I know I'm going to just be mocked.
Yeah. Tom, we know your dad. He's a comedian. Does he still tell dad jokes around the dinner table?
Yeah, but they're classy dad jokes because he's a pro. You know, bless all of my friends that come over to my house for dinner because my dad's going to roast you. He's so good, and he's so funny, my dad. He makes me laugh. So my dad's dad jokes are excellent. Oh, that's nice. Is he watching? Because he loved that. I think he's on the train, actually, bless him. We were talking about Richard Curtis films earlier, right? And Tom said your favourite is? About Time is one of my all-time favourite movies. There you are, you see. I mean, I'm a big fan of Love Actually, Richard, as you know. Ronan invested interest in Notting Hill.
I don't know why.
Not sure what Mark's is, but what's Richard Curtis' favourite Richard Curtis film? I think it's one I haven't made. I think I'd like to make a film with, let's say, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. I think that's going to be the one that's going to really
take off.
Listen, I've got a great book for you. I'll send you a book. I've got an idea of something we could do together.
Have
Don't
you?
worry.
Well, to be honest, go in on the chemistry in Uncharted. I don't think, you know, it's that far-fetched.
Mark, I reckon we'd do great in a rom-com, mate.
Absolutely, and I would recommend that you don't send Richard a book. Let him come up with the idea and write it himself, so it can be a big success.
As Richard mentioned, Red Nose Day is on the 18th of March.
To say Red Nose Day.
Hey, Richard, he was telling me what to do too. This kid, he's just got it all figured out. He was telling me what to do. He's going to tell you what to do. Wow.
Amazing.
Sorry, Richard mentioned Red Nose Day is on the 18th of March, and red noses are available to buy now.
They are. Right then, it's Wednesday, so it's time for our weekly watchdog. Matt, is over to you.
At BBC Watchdog on Twitter. Tom, do you ski?
I snowboard.
That's not bad. That's halfway there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Do you drive? Have you
I
passed
do
your
drive.
test?
I have passed my test, yes.
Do you remember that feeling just before your test? Describe it to me.
I took my test in Tolworth, which has that horrible one-way system, and I remember being so stressed. You know, I probably just got off a set doing something really crazy, and the thing that really stressed me out that day was my driving test.
But now your driving helps you get to jobs, helps you go where you need to be.
Absolutely.
Absolutely crucial, isn't it, right?
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, big time. Well, have a listen to this. We're talking about...
Oh, thank you, Matt. We have had tons of questions. It's crashed practically.
Yes.
Khalid asks, Tom, how does it feel to play the role of a video game character?
You know, I was a massive fan of this game, so it was a huge honour to sort of bring him to life and develop the character and obviously work with the incredible Mark Wahlberg and become good friends with him. So it's been an amazing experience so far, and I'm incredibly excited to show the world this film.
Lovely.
Brilliant. Karen says, watch Tom and Mark on the One Show, and I can just tell Uncharted is going to be awesome. I really hope this is the start of a future movies together. The chemistry is great.
And Carol says, Richard, I spent the first comic relief in Labour. Go, Carol, back in 1985. That is all we've got time for. Thank you so much to Tom, to Mark, and to Richard for joining us.
We'll be back tomorrow at 7. We'll see you all then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.